Oh my god, this guy's spawning pool is so late.
Hey guys, Austafarianism is here, and I just noticed that since I was recording with Fraps, it recorded my conversation with my friend on Skype while I played this game. So you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to enjoy his sexy voice while you watch me own some noobs or get owned by noobs. You know, whatever happens. So what happened in this game? I thought it was really interesting. On my road to diamond. Sorry, let me introduce. This is my road to diamond, episode 4, the weird PvP. But basically, I was gonna try something new and try for the Stargate play because I watched a Day 9 Daily that he posted a little while ago, and it was on Grubby Stargate play with Phoenix, which I really wanted to try out because it seemed interesting. And yeah, it turned into a really weird game overall. So yeah, I haven't been able to play a lot of 1v1s lately because I've been playing team games, and then after that I kind of get sick of StarCraft. I'm like, I want to go to bed because I stay up really late playing team games with friends. But anyway, yeah, this was a 1v1 I played, and it ended up being really, really weird. Like earlier, I played like 3 or 4 game 1v1s in a row. One of them was a Zerg where, as usual, I got smashed. And then but that one was, I wouldn't even do an episode like this on it because my macro was just horrible. Like, it was ridiculously horrible. It wasn't even worth casting because you could tell the obvious mistakes and everything like that. So this game I thought would be more interesting. Another one was a PvT, which was better than the Zerg because I still won because I like PvT. But there's mistakes on the other guy's part, and his push is just totally failing. I guess that's what the other one was about. But this guy, on the last one I was talking about, it actually was decent because he went M&M, MMM instead of some weird MM tank combination power. But regardless, this is the game I am casting, and you're going to see me go for a Phoenix Stargate play, which actually, in theory, it works really well because as long as you can hold off early pressure, like some sort of 4-gate or maybe even like 3-gate pressure, as long as you can hold that, you can successfully get your Stargate out and pressure the enemy. And then I was watching a game earlier of EG Axlab on his Twitch TV, and he did a great Stargate play where he did a base race eventually, but he was able to wreck the guy's economy with everything. Even during a base trade, he destroyed almost everything, and then he managed to get out a mothership, which was pretty awesome. Sorry if you hear any barking or anything in the background. My dog is going crazy. So here you see I get my second gas, and my cybercore just comes up, and here I start.
No, I didn't send you over there.
And I can hear saying more. And I try to get my probe, but unfortunately I can't. So I'm chrono boosting out stalkers. That's what Day 9 said Grubby did, which is like, oh, that's a good idea, because if you chrono boost out enough stalkers, then you can negate any pressure or pylon from going up. But a delayed 4-gate could still hit you, but you'll probably have a sentry out by then. And I think I get my pylon up, and I get supply blocked a few times, as usual. You should expect that from almost every game that I play, getting supply blocked 1 or 2 times. But yeah, here I continue the chrono up, getting those stalkers out to prevent any pylons from going up or early pressure. And I guess I kind of feign my own early pressure by sending out my stalker and getting more early stalkers up. And I finally get my Stargate up. Sorry about that. So yeah, just continuing the chrono instead of on my cybercore, on all the stalkers, so I can get my Phoenix and stalkers out. And then, yeah, here I try to do a little poke up the ramp so that he thinks that I might be doing some sort of 4-gate.
Oh my god,
Yeah, I just keep stopping whatever I hear. My friend Zane, because I don't know, it's funny. He was trying to play Zerg because he just thought it would be super fun to try to change to. And yeah, he needs to learn how to counter everything and such. So one thing about the Stargate play that I heard was, as long as you throw up 4 tech buildings or 4 unit producing structures, then you should be able to keep your macro up and keep getting stuff, and then you can eventually expand whenever you feel safe. And here the Phoenix production starts, and I almost put the probe on the wrong gas. So yeah, I think I'm chronoing at the Phoenix just so I can get like 4 or 5 pretty quickly, because once you get 4 or 5, that's when you can really start to hurt their economy, because I think if you have 4 Phoenix, then they one-shot them whenever they get lifted up, and plus you'll have like 3 times as much energy to lift them up. 1 Phoenix is not very useful when they lift it and can't shoot. So continuing the chrono, and I think I'm about to get supply blocked. Oh, never mind. I'm smart, remember that pylon. And then here I get my second gateway, so I probably finally get a, nope, never mind, I'm supply blocked, so I don't get a sentry out. And the thing about the sentry is it will halt your Phoenix production for a few seconds, but regardless you'll still eventually get it out. And I'm pretty sure that he's not, I'm not sure what the guy's up to because I saw him going some heavy zealots, which means he was using his gas for something else, which you'll see what he was doing later. Luckily it's not DTs for me, even though I already had a robo. So eventually I start putting all of the structures into work, including the robo for immortals. So then I can keep a good protection up. And I almost have my massive phoenixes of 4, which I think that's what I eventually attack with, because that's like the one-shotting probe moment. And I hotkey all of my phoenixes to 2, and this is like my first time trying out phoenixes, like not even in 4v4s and stuff. I've never really tried phoenix. Here's the macro failing again. But so this is my first kind of use of phoenix as being a good player. Like I tried him back when I didn't really know how to play this game. So I do quite a few misclicks. So here I start clicking on the probe, lifting them up, but I didn't notice that if you click twice on the probe, then you deselect your phoenix. I'm like, oh, click 2, and here I see he has a Stargate too. So I'm like, wait a minute, he has Void Rays. So I continue to warp in Stalkers so I'll be able to smash any of his Void Rays that come, as long as I can focus fire. And I continue Phoenix production too, so I can continue to harass his mineral line. So I'm kind of trying to find the Void Rays. I don't think that 4 Phoenix beat that many Void Rays, but I don't know where he moves. I think he might have been trying to expand, and here's the wrong selection again. But luckily, my Phoenix do their little badass run, and they can still leave, and none of them have taken any hit point damage yet, which is pretty nice. So I'm guessing that he was about to move out. Obviously, I know that now, but that makes sense now because he was trying to move out, but he kept moving back to save his probes. So I'm just warping in units, trying to keep up on my macro, getting immortal because I saw he had so many stalkers. And now I'm checking to see if he's expanding, and I'm expanding at the same time. And his probe is going out, and then I lift up the probe. But I see since he didn't come back to save any of his probes, I'm like, oh, well, where would his army be? So it's kind of obvious that he went out for a push, and my Phoenix are continuing to be really stupid. That's just a micro part that I need to train myself. Of course, I finally look up, I'm like, wait a minute, there are bad people down there. You can still hear Zane. But luckily I managed to get a force field off, so not all of the Zeals come out, and I focus fire my Phoenix onto all of those Void Rays, and I focus fire the Stalkers a little later. Right here, yeah. So now all of the Void Rays are being focus fired down by my air and everything like that, and luckily the Zealots are being stopped on my Zealots, and I have the Immortals to crush. Throw in a little bit of Stalker micro so that the Zealots don't tear them apart. So I think with my failing macro, I would have lost that if I didn't micro anything. I try to get a Void Ray of my own out, just because if he's trying to play the Void Ray game, I'll kind of join in. But I only get 1 because I gotta keep up my Stalker production, and I get out, I think, a second Immortal eventually. Yeah, eventually I get a second Immortal, and here I'm thinking about pushing. I'm going, oh well, I should probably push since he just lost all of his forces on a push, and I got to keep most of my things. And the Phoenix, yeah, his hotkeys set, so I gotta redo that. And I'm continuing to get more Phoenix so I can go back in and do more production. And the good thing about Phoenix is you can use them to scout like I'm doing here. So I see, oh, gateway, so I just kind of assume those are all gateways, so it would be some sort of 5-gate all-in. And except for the expansion, that's why I'm starting to move out, because I'm like, wait a minute, if he has an expansion like already up way before mine, that means I probably auto-lost the game, even though he lost his army. Then if he's had that expansion up for a while, then he could basically have an instant army bigger than mine with all 4 gateway production, or 5 with the Stargate. So first I assumed he was going Blink Stalkers until I saw the Void Ray, sorry. So here I go to push on the expansion. I'm like, oh, well, he does not have it. So it definitely means that his 5-gate is going to be a total all-in with probably Stalkers or Zealot Sentry. But of course I know it's Stalkers because I've already played this. And here I try to get some vision of the high ground and get he gets a few shots off of me, but I just wanted to scout to see his composition. So I throw down some sentries early to get the energy, and I chrono boost my robo a little bit prematurely, but I finally have my mass of 4 phoenixes so I can start to take out a bunch of stuff. And I move my army back to, with the sentries so they could use their guardian shield and such and force fields. And here I finally go back into, oh, yeah, I go back with the Phoenix, but at the same time, my Void Ray, for some reason, I think I was trying to click the Immortal so he could kill the Stalkers, but I fail and the Void Ray goes down, but I think I can still do well without the Void Ray, continuing to keep up that Phoenix Harass. And see, this is what I mean, the Phoenix Harass is so useful because he's going to have no economy even when he pushes out. So he's pretty much doomed with if this push fails. Because I have Immortals which tear apart all of his Stalkers, and I have the Phoenix, which even though they are not very good in straight up combat, they can still harass while he's pushing, which could either A, make him run back and try to save 4 probes. So these Phoenix have been extremely cost effective, taking out each probe. And he tries to bait out my Immortal, but it's okay, I'm smart. Micro that Immortal back, listening to his badass shield, and I see his Zealots are stuck behind, so I throw up some force fields. Not too bad force fields, they're overlapping a little bit. Could definitely be much better, but they stopped the Zealots, which was the whole intended reason for them. And I continue the Phoenix Harass, try to take down all of his economy, and I look back to the battle and see I pretty much won. He tries to focus fire one of the Immortals, and I try to, this is what I mean, once I get a better laptop I'll be able to, it'll get that command where I click the Immortal and pull him back, and I won't fail like it just did there, and the guy GG's out, and that was that game. So I might be able to post another one today, just because there was a really weird cheese game that happened, and I hate cheese, but I love it when I hold it off. So anyway, this has been the Austafarianist, and ta-ta for now.